Oh, a live stream. No, I don't want to do that. Oh, whatever.
Okay, great, we'll start.
I don't know if we're live on YouTube or not. I can't remember. Okay. Good. Oh, it's too high. Put it in the middle. Great. 𝘭𝘪𝘢𝘵𝑚𝑎𝑠. Okay, good. We'll just start loosening up a little bit. Just allow your feet to leave the ground. Allow the feet to settle. Let the heel raise. And down. Right, and take it front to back. And it's just going to swing through the feet as well. Great, and take side to side, letting the weight swing from one foot to the other. Good. And get into rotation. Right. And then take it into a wave. Rolling through the spine. And then just taking it through a spiral. So just going to activate the legs and just let the arms follow that pathway down and up. Good. 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 And just think it's a little bit of free mobility. Yeah, let's mix in all the directions. Deep breathing. Yeah, and take it into a nice deep breath in, reaching up, deep breath out, hinging down, and curling all the way through the spine, all the way up. Yeah, and just one more time. Yeah. And when you're back up, we'll just do the opposite. So you're going to take the arms out to the side, bring them through the center line and curl the spine down, all the way, releasing the shoulders, the head, the neck. And just give yourself a little bit of an impulse through the body. And coiling back up. And just do one more. Nice deep breath in. Tracing through the center line, releasing the spine piece by piece. And just releasing out at the bottom. Good. And just tracing up, just finding the knees. And just taking the spine to a flexion extension. Or cat cow. Great. And as we hit, just kind of soften that movement. So look for a kind of another wave through the spine, from the head to the tailbone. Same motion, just trying to chain it together. Good. Good. And then just take it into the head. Keep right up. And bring the chin to the chest. Good. And take it left and right. And hit the shoulder. Just taking the hand across, a little bit of weight. And just exploring this one, looking up to the corners, but looking up. And that's going to take it down a little bit from here. It's kind of top right, bottom left. Good. And releasing back to center. And taking the other side over. And same thing, if it feels comfortable, just explore. Looking up and looking down whilst keeping that weight on the hand. And releasing, just taking the hands at the back, a little bit of pressure forward with the hands, a little bit of pressure back with the head. And then curling forward, chin to chest, touching the elbows together if you can, spreading the back, and opening out. And just think about that same kind of pressure, and then just a little bit pulling the elbows back, making the back wide. Good. And releasing, curling the spine, making the back wide. And taking it up, and just adding a little bit of a back bend. All right, and releasing it, and rolling out the shoulders. Get a little bit bigger, bringing the elbows in. And then take it into circles with the arms. And so in the bicep brush, the ears. Nice wide circle. And then changing forwards, keeping it big. And get a bit tighter, bringing the elbows into it. And then just rolling the shoulders out. Great. And just alternating one shoulder, rolling back. Great. Good. Making fists, taking into a rotation. And a little bit of an extension out through the elbow, keeping the knees soft. Great, open at the sides, just reaching up one side, lengthening over. Take it to the side. And changing over. And one more on the other side. Good. And then making fists in this case, you're going to kind of roll over and think about it like extending out like a strike. A little bit more of a twisting motion. So twisting over and extending out. Twisting over and extending out. Trying to really settle into the feet as well as you do it. especially the side that you're rotating into. Yeah, that's it, great. And then just think about taking a little bit down, so going a little bit further into the rotation and then taking the fist towards the floor. So you kind of start here, open up, and then towards the ground. Roll open, towards the ground. Good. Yes. Great. And then just loosen out the hips, roll in big circles. And changing direction. Just with the feet a little bit closer, just think about kind of picking the hip up with the foot, picking the foot up, sorry, with the hip. It's and kind of rolling it over, a little bit of a strange one. One leg's really settled and the other's just going to kind of pull up. A little bit like you're kind of walking in a very strange way. Really just to get the hip up and over, up and over. And then just about the same thing, taking it back, so kind of rolling back with the hip. Peeling the foot off the floor as you do it. Peeling the foot. So. Right. Good. Okay, push bring the feet together. And we'll take into a hinge of the knee. And coming down, spreading the knees away. Lengthening back, a little bit of pressure back on the knee. You can also pull the toes up at this point. Activate the shins as well. And come down. And lengthening back. Good. And just taking one leg back, pressing the heel down. Press it down strongly into the ground. And if I just think about gently leaning the body forward, keeping the weight back, but keeping the heel down. Just lengthening a little bit more forward. And back, taking the foot off the floor. Circling the ankle. And change. Okay, tricky one for foot, just taking it across. Tricky one for balance. Taking the ankle and just roll it if you can. Roll it both ways. Okay, bring it out, just extend it out through the toes. And just explore pointing different directions. A little bit to the side, a bit to the front, a bit to the other side, to the back. And shaking it out. Great. And pressing that foot down, press the other one back. Sink the heel into the ground. And just shifting the weight forward a little bit. And lifting the foot up, circling out. And change. Taking it across, just rolling out the ankle a little bit with the toes. Working both ways. Great. And then pointing out with the toes. And again, just exploring different directions. Great. And shake it out a little bit. Good. And just bring out the legs wide, loosen out the hips, sinking down. A little bit of motion side to side. You can also circle through the hips a little bit. They feel flexible. Right. Okay, just taking one ankle, however deep you are, just play with rotating up with the elbow. There's a point. Really rotating through the thoracic spine, chest. Let the head really explore, looking down, looking up. Great. And then last one here, just think about reaching up with the hand. A good clear down direction, good clear up. And again, just explore the head, looking down, looking up as you do that extension. Bringing it down and just go to the side, just taking it through it. Rotation through the spine. Good. And then last one, reaching up. And again, exploring, looking up, looking down with the head. Great. Good. Releasing it. Taking the hands onto the knees. Think about lengthening through the spine. A little bit of pressure down with the hands. Kind of straighten with the arms. Think about sinking hips a little bit more. And then lengthening up a little bit more with the spine. And then keeping that kind of length through the body. Pressing one knee away. Looking over the shoulder. Pulling back to center each time. Find that pressure and then take it to the other side. Let's really explore the breath as you do this one as well. Nice big deep breath out as you enter the stretch or the rotation. Great. And then just taking the legs side to side. Lengthening one, bending the other. And just hold in one side. And change. And bringing the toes up one side. And change. Good. Lengthening down through both legs and just bring the hands onto the floor. Level with the chest. And just let the body swing from one ankle to the other, one foot to the other. Just reach with both hands. Nice and stable with the legs. And tapping the foot. Good. Coming back to the center, just reaching the hands back. Just walking them back as far as you can. And walking them out to the front. And just creating some length through the spine and the shoulders. Gently pulling hips back, reaching forward a little bit more. Great, and then just let the weight come into the hands, settle into the hands, bring the feet together at the back, and just tread out with the feet. And then lengthening through both feet. Right, walking the hands back to the feet, folding forwards. And nice and slowly coming up to standing. Right, taking it into a lunge, taking the hand up at the top. Create a nice long line from the back heel to the top hand. And you can kind of take it into a back bend, side bend. If it feels comfortable, take it into a big spiral up to the top. Take a couple of deep breaths here, nice big in and out. And release it down. Change the leg. Taking the hand up. And just take a either to the back, to the side, or into a big spiral. Great, and releasing it out. And just do a little bit for the shoulders to release them out. And the elbows one way. And change. And into the wrists. And change. And then open out with an open hand, and as you close, as you go back, make a fist. You're going to open, roll with a fist, and then open again at the top. Good. Good. And then one that really looks stupid. Make the arms quite tight to the body, and then just opening out the fingers. So it's like a T-Rex pose. Really great for the forearms. Super great for the forearms. So you're gonna kind of wrap it open and close, keeping a kind of tight arm. Okay, feel the forearms burn a little bit. And release them out, just making fists with a lengthened arm. And just explore different positions with the arms. A little bit down, a little bit to the front, bring them out to the sides. Making a nice tight fist as you do it, nice strong grip. Great, very good. Super, and then we'll just shake them out a little bit. Now releasing the arms. Still letting a little bit. And we'll take into the whole body. And really let the feet find the ground, settle into the ground with the feet. Starting with a big movement and just make it a little bit smaller each time. A little bit more compact. And try and really feel the top of the head, the fingertips, all these kind of extremities of the body. Just settling in. Good. Great. Okay, take a 𝘭𝘠𝘦. We will do some 𝘧𝗔𝗞𝗜𝗚𝗠𝗨𝗦𝗨 Okay, so we're just taking some of or just take your time coming into Kamai. Right side, nice big movement, pulling up to the back and sinking into the couch. Straight into it in your own time. Nice. Clear pause at the back. And let yourself settle each time you cut. Pause here. And settle in. Good. Great. Nice. Good. So we'll look at one of the key connections in this case. Think about the hip and the elbow really kind of being tied together. So there's one kind of image which is useful, which is like you've got a heavy weight kind of strung onto the tip of the elbow, and that it's kind of hanging down from the elbow and pulling it down into the body. So this is one way to cut, and other schools do explore it in the sense that you kind of throw the elbow out of the body. Gives you a strong movement. But the one that we're kind of looking for is a kind of release down into the ground with a sense of kind of percussion down into the body. So think about, in this case, from the back, think about the elbow being pulled down from the hip. So as the hip initiates, think about the elbow being dragged down into the ground. And just explore two things, which is the full cut, obviously the cut as you would normally finish. And the other one, really nice to explore, is just dragging it down. Just let the elbow kind of really be pulled into the body. So you're looking for the feeling like this extends, opens out, like an elastic band being tied here, and then it gets pulled back into the body. Just kind of opening out, strong, and then being pulled back down. And letting the cut kind of finish at the ground is a nice way to just explore the weight in this case. And the real connection now is like the elbow being pulled down by the hip into the ground. Yeah. Good. Yeah, and really nice to do with a heavy 𝘭𝘠𝗦𝗡. Heavy 𝘭𝘠𝗡s are great for this. You can really. Oh, we lost Keith. That's great. That's good. Hello, Keith. Great. Yeah, okay. One point with this also, when you do the release, especially when you do the release cut, when you let the 𝘭𝘠𝗏 drop down, be careful of like releasing the spine. So something like if I release the body, something like this happens of the body, so the neck starts to kind of come out of structure. Think about really that the spine does the same thing all the time, which is just looking for the length through it. So try and avoid something like this happening with the neck. So the same kind of feeling you have when you fully find the ground with the curve, that same kind of extension length through the spine as you do it here. So it's that same feeling, length up from the hips to the top of the body. And just watch out for the neck in this case. There's a tendency as as I go to release the cut, that then the rest of the spine starts kind of loosen too much in this case. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, good, great. Good. Good. Great. Good. And just kind of balance the body out. Look for the left side. So it's a little bit different in terms of the structure of the body, but look for the same feeling. So you've got that alignment left foot. Draw it to the spine, give yourself a pause, and then either again finishing the cut here or just let it settle down. But yeah, look for now that connection between the elbow and the hips. It's the sense that the elbow gets drawn back down into the body. And again, exploring that cut through really allows the elbow to just come back into the body in this case. And it's a little bit tricky to find with the extension out. But just look at that same feeling that you have on the right side, now on the left. Yeah, so good. Great. Good. Great. Good. And then take it to Zengo, so working both sides with the rotation in between. And again, just feel free to also mix in just cutting down. That again, it's a nice one as you go through the rotation, just to let the body settle again into the ground. So really exploring cutting fully or just releasing down. So you're really looking for that connection from the elbow. Now look for that connection really in the rotation as well. So as you initiate the rotation, try and keep the sense that the elbows being pressed up and pulled down from the hip. Pressed up, pulled down. Yeah, good. Good. Nice, nice. Very good. Great, so we'll take it to number 2. So this is a really nice one to explore this connection because you've got this up movement and holding it at the top. So rather than coming to the spine now, you're finding this position. Again, really feel that connection now. It's a really strong connection here from this hand and this hand down these sides of the body to the hip. And then from here, opening up and then into the curve here. So we'll explore a little bit of a short one, but just taking it to the basic for now. Find that position, really feel that connection, and then just before the cut, initiate. Touch the spine with it. So still looking for 𝘱𝘰𝘦𝘴. Straight line through the body. And resetting at the end. Good. Great. Good. We'll do a really simple exercise for this, but if you think about just lifting something up, you've got kind of a few options in this case. Well, you've got a lot of options, but if you think about the main ones, which are like to pull it into the body and then press it up, and the other one would be to kind of leave it out and kind of pull it up with the length this way. The one you want is kind of somewhere in between, in the sense that you settle into the feet, and then in a sense, rather than just pull the sort of the body, the sense that as you settle more into the ground, you find a position where you can just raise up. So just to explore this position, you've got this with the extension, right? Is basically just an arm movement. Still needs to be strong in the core and everything needs to be aligned, but it's basically just an isolated length and extension. If this bokken's heavier, this one gets really impossible. The other one's really, in a sense, if I've got a very heavy weight, then you bring it to the body, you're pressing it up. But in the case of the sword, it's never really that heavy. So what you want to do is something that's just settling down into the feet and lengthening, lifting up as you do it. So look for something that's got a little bit of both. I've got the extension and you're drawing it into the body, but you're not kind of pulling it into the body. So it's coming back to function, stuff that we do all day, and trying to really get a sense of how we would do that very efficiently. I always think like you're going to do this exercise maybe 20 times. Think about doing it for an hour or something. So if you think about the bokken's not so heavy, but if I lift it for an hour, kind of doing this motion, it's going to get very heavy very quickly. And it will make a real difference whether I'm doing that one, or something a little bit more settled into the body. And the key thing here is you do the movement with the arms, listen to the feet as well. So listen to what's happening in the feet and the sense of weight in the feet. You probably notice as you do this one, the weight starts to settle really forward into the body. And with this one, the weight starts to settle really back into the body. And you're really, again, always looking for something that's just in between. And you feel that the knees are really free, unlocked, and able to mobilize. Good. Super easy exercise, but nice one to explore. We'll stick with it. Do the same thing, but think about as you go up, adding a little bit of a rotation into it. So it's kind of mimicking what you do to sword, but work it with both sides. So you're drawing it up, and then just add a little bit of rotation. It doesn't have to really convert to the front this way, but just think about adding a little bit more of a rotation. And the key thing now is, again, really listen to what's happening in the body and allow the body to really settle in between the 2 feet. So the danger with this, whenever you're kind of rotating, is that you start to lean towards one foot. And in this case, when you've got the feet in a square position, just allow yourself to settle really into both. So the hips do the work of that rotation, the body follows, and you just settle into the feet again. Just make it a little bit trickier, but again, try and find the middle of the body to find the lift. Yeah, there we go. Great. Okay. Great. And then just come back to the first 𝘰𝘪, second 𝘰𝘪. So just play with the raise. So don't worry about the cut in this case. Just think about initiating the raise. And again, you've got 2 options really. I can leave the arms extended out and pull the sword up. I can bring it close to the body and push it up. Or I can have the sense that I'm just raising it from the core of the body and then settling it into the center line this way. So just play with this exercise, or just this part of the exercise. There, and then just let it release. But then the key thing is to feel at the end of that motion that you're really settled in both feet, that the spine should feel free, the knees should be released, and you should feel like you're really just in the center of the base of the feet. You should just be able to step out of it really, really easily. Yeah, good, great. 𝘭𝘪𝘨𝑒. Okay, great. Okay, I can do the number 3, so we're going to explore it. So I've got some ceiling part. So this is the same, but it's a little bit of a different lift now. So it's the number 2 is in a way is a simpler lift or a simpler raise. You're just doing this one, and then in number 3 you've got because you're extending the sword, you're asking a bit more of the body. So in this case, what you're doing is really drawing the sword first into the spine. So it's got a little bit more of this kind of feeling, pulling it to the body, but with a sense of drawing it. So you're drawing it up to the center line, and then think about this extension up. The key thing with this is as you reach it up, really think about settling down again. So that the raise again is really about the settling down. So that kind of raise right at the top. Take it as high as you can with the ceiling, and then just draw it back down. I'll leave the cut out for now. But just go to the raise, just really finding the feet, find the center line, and then really open and expanding up. If you've got a low ceiling, just keep the sword at a slight angle. So if you find you're kind of hitting the ceiling a little bit with it, just allow the sword to go a little bit more at an angle. Yeah, or if you've got a little bit of a shorter one. Good. Perfect. Good. Nice, great. Good, and then we'll take it to the full form, so finding the back now with it. Go through that same lift, you're raising the sword up, and then from here you're rotating the hips so that they face forward as you draw the sword down to the back hip. So rather than, and again, you've got 2 ways, or a few ways you can do this. You can kind of pull the sword down this way with the arms extended, and nothing really happens here. Or you can kind of squeeze it down this way. The one you're looking for, again, is something in the middle. The hips are going to activate, and then you draw the sword down. So it's more like a kind of pulling down of the sword from the hip, settling into it. And then once you got that position, just allow yourself to exit it with a cut. So really focusing on the raise and the kind of setup for the cut. Well, so raise, engage the hips forward as you draw the sword down. And then the cut in this case isn't finding the spine, it's just going over the top of the head. So it's a nice big movement from the back over the top of the head into the cut. Great. Okay, good. 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 We'll just finish a little bit of Taijutsu work. So just take the bokken down, just a little bit of empty hand work. So we'll work just one movement here. So we will take this into a technique in the case of coming rolling in, up and down into a kind of throw into the ground. We'll just focus on the first part of it. So what I want to do is just a finer extension here. think about entering in, finding the center line here, and then just think about really rolling, extending out to the back. So it's just that part of it. Settle into the ground with the extension. You're going to engage the body forward, bring the hand towards the center line, into the center line, and then from here rotate to the back. And big strong extension out as you kind of go. So just the kind of raise of it. So it's really that feeling like you're picking up the sword, so you find the center line and really feel you've got the sword in the hand, and you're into this big extension out to the back, settling into the center line, and then real strong extension out. So. Okay. Good. And again, just isolate this idea of a raise of the arms. Again, the reason we focus on that so much with the bokken, this sense of this kind of motion, rather than this and rather than this, is because if we translate that to empty hand work, it looks something like if I'm extended, I'm doing this, and if I'm kind of crunching, I bring it to the body first, and then I lift it up. And neither of those are very practical in terms of body movement. So again, you're looking for something that's in between. So just explore, in this case, just with the feet, just raising the hands up. So it's just sense of raising them up. And again, go to the extreme. So if I stretch them out and lift them up, or if I pull them into the body and lift them up, these are kind of two areas that I don't really want to go to in terms of function and in terms of what we're kind of looking to do with the structure of the body. But just think about, you do it, look for something that's just in between those two. So they're into the body, they're attached, they're connected, but with a strong sense of extension out through the hand as well. So at least two things happening at the same time. So good. Good. And kind of, again, it's kind of mimic of the sword work that we do, or the same kind of principles that we look for. So think about raising up now, and then with the palm just facing, going down, but palm up, you're going to drop the arms in this way. So it's a little bit different in terms of the structure of the body, but the feeling in the body is the same, which is that you're raising up and you're dropping in with the body. So the arms are going to kind of raise up, and then think about the palms face up this way, and then the feeling's really at the elbow, drops down, drops in. So again, it's that same kind of connection from the hip to the elbow, dropping in, and you're doing it again with an extension out through the arm. So just explore it. And again, if you want to, you can go to the full kind of form where you're coming into the rotation, raising, and then dropping in. But otherwise, just play with this really simple form, which is just kind of raising the hands up and dropping them down. So raising them up, dropping them down, and then really looking for all that connection work that we do in the bokken work, all the weapon work, to inform the empty-handed work. That's the idea, really. That's good. And last 30 seconds or so, just explore different kind of patterns with the feet. So explore, if you think about what we do with number 2, kind of pulling the body back, opening the hip out, and then cutting down with it. But just explore different patterns. So move the body freely with it, but exploring again this raise and then sinking, cutting down. So you're raising it, drawing up, cutting down. Solid, nice and solid at the end, but just explore freely different movement patterns. Good. Okay, good. We will bow up. Okay, very good. Good. Great. どうもありがとうございます。
どうもありがとうございました。
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Very good. Hopefully the sound isn't too bad.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Michael.
Thanks.
Thank you.
We're understandable, Michael.